Okay guys, if you've actually made it through my first two videos, which are quite long, but again, I mean, me personally, when I go into these subjects, I'm a deep thinker. I like to kind of, if you come to me with problems or issues, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to think about this thing, I'm going to think about it like it was me, and I'm going to try and come up with, I'm going to try and fight this thing. And that's why my videos are slightly long, because I try to look at it from all different angles. If it was severe to you, what if it was not severe, like I was saying in my last video, what if it is a strong addiction where it's every day, or it's every hour or whatever. I try to come up with a way where, regardless of who you are, it's the same thing, and even in the last, when I was speaking about the last videos, whether your addiction is severe, whether it is, say it was watching porn and you are watching porn multiple times a day, or whether you're watching it every 2 weeks, there's no, oh, he's trash because he does it 6 times a day and I only do it twice a week. And it's not a, every now and then some people try to compare it and get into this kind of, oh, you're worse than me, and they're forgetting the whole principle, the whole perfection philosophy here. It's not, you're not better than anyone, forget about the whole judging. I'm going to do a video on that actually, called the judging game. Forget about the judging game, okay, and let's play the uplifting game. Some of the addictions that I had, I was doing it, depending on how stressed out I was doing it, I was doing it more often at certain times than other times. Certain times I had it under control, certain times I just went chaotic with it. Another thing I want to say though, that's important, before I get into ways of coping in each addiction and things like that, yeah, be prepared, because this is important. This is the last video I do, we've got 12 minutes left, but be prepared that when you do actually give these things up, regardless of what it is, your body will crave something else, so when I say lesser evil and greater evil and things like that, it doesn't always have to be evil. Sometimes it can be a healthy addiction. It can be, the last example with food, it can be, rather than you kind of eat junk food now you're starting to go into the gym now. Now you're going to the gym. You're that 15 pounds a day on junk food now goes on a gym membership, which is cheaper, and now you're at the gym and you're doing, you're working your way up to a basic routine, because I'm a personal trainer, and I personally don't encourage my clients to go down that aesthetic route, to go down that Hollywood route. I don't encourage that. What I encourage is that by working out, you're keeping your many systems of the body, because there's loads of them, you're keeping them all healthy, you're keeping them running at an optimal level, lungs, breathing, your heart, the blood vessels, muscles, your muscles aren't wasting away, muscular atrophy, your form, your posture. I encourage people to do it, to work out really, because it's just overall keeping you healthy and strong. It's keeping you looking younger. It's keeping you going, keeping you going through life how you should be, which should be generally healthy. Okay, so just prepared that when you do give up these, whatever addiction it is, your body will tend to crave something else. It's a natural process. Alright, so yeah, with food, lesser evil for food again. What do I do now that I don't have, now that I'm not eating junk food? I try to have things like salads, try to eat more fish, if the addiction really did get that strong, that craving really did get strong, then yeah, I would have a beer, And if I was really stressed out, like really stressed out, then I do what I've done now, which is, you know, I've stopped smoking now for, it's coming up to 2 years next month. No, yeah, so December will be 2 years. And early this year, I was really stressed out by something. So rather than me go back to smoking, I picked up the electronic cigarette. So the point I'm trying to make to you is, whatever you use to cure your first addiction, you can use that again to cure another addiction. So if I was binge eating and it got really bad, I mean, someone, I don't, God forbid, some sort of tragedy happened, then I would go back to that same coping mechanism that I used for smoking. You know, so if I was really that stressed out, that bad, and I found myself going back to junk food, then I might go back on to, say, the Nicorette spray, because that's more of a lesser evil than the vaping. Okay, to get me through it, because it's all, you know, it's all easy to talk about these things and say, oh yeah, you just do this, you just do that, but then when some sort of major stress or tragedy hits you, it's not as easy as you think. So the lesser evil for me would be this. I might use this if I felt like I was going to go back to eating KFC. Pornography, a lesser evil for something like porn, would be to find a healthy relationship, you know, a healthy monogamous relationship with someone that actually cares for you. You know, a greater evil for porn would be prostitutes. If I suddenly stopped watching pornography, and all of a sudden now I'm out in the dark alleys of central London or wherever, and I'm paying £50 to sleep with women, that's but yet I'm bragging and boasting to my friends, oh yeah, I don't watch porn no more. You're a wanker, I'm not a wanker though. You know what I mean? And the reality of it is, I'm paying for sex now. That's not, it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. So you want to find a lesser evil. So for something like pornography, it would be to find a healthy monogamous relationship. What else is there? For something like, let's assume that it's, I couldn't tell you about things like anorexia, although I have been through phases where I'm stressed out and I stopped eating, and I mean like literally like 1 meal a day. I went down to 10 stone. The cheekbone started to show on my face. I was walking around my cheekbone showing. But I couldn't tell you how to get around that. Again, some of the things that I'm saying, you can go to a dietitian, a nutritional therapist, a counsellor, a psychiatrist, your doctor. You know, I don't have all of the answers. I'm just telling you how it worked with me. What is another one? Alcohol. Right, so you're drinking spirits, you're drinking things like vodka, heavy stuff like that. Again, beer is the lightest form of alcohol that you can have. Alcohol, I'm not addicted to it, but it's the one thing I won't give up, because I'm not one of those people that drinks alcohol and is reckless with it. You know, it's all falling into, come around your house and I'm falling into your TV and I'm smashing into your bed. And as I'm leaving, walking down the stairs, I drop down the stairs, you hear boom, 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 as I'm leaving. Where I felt falling down your stairs. Yeah, it's controlled when I drink alcohol, and it really does, you know, it loosens me up. I can have more of a laugh and things like that. I have no reason to stop it, because I've got it under control. And that's another thing I want to say in this video, is that, you know, the only reason why you need to give these things up is if these things have got to a point in your life where these things are, they're not healthy. It's got to a point where it's no longer healthy for you. You know, it's creating issues. It's written all over your face. People can visually see it. They can see the social impact of whatever it is you're doing has on you. This is the stage. This is why you're attempting to quit these things. But if you're functioning, you know, if you're watching porn say 2 to 3 times a week, and you know it's healthy, you can actually, you have the willpower to have 2 cigarettes a day or whatever, and you're still functioning and you're happy with it, then by all means go, you know, why are you stopping? But if these things are causing you to if these things have become detrimental to the point where you know it's visually and socially causing you to become almost an embarrassment, really, or to become, you know, looked down on, people are looking down on you for these things, then maybe you need to start making a change, you know. What else is there? Yeah, so the last thing I want to say is that there's many different addictions, things like that. I'm sure though with stronger things, like, you know, if it was heroin or crack or anything like that, going by what I'm saying about the lesser evil, I guarantee it will work. You know, so if I was on something like crack or whatever, then I probably would go to something like marijuana, or I probably would go to, I wouldn't go to spirits though. I'd say definitely stay away from spirits, but I'd definitely go for something that was a hell of a lot less, and then work my way down the ladder. The last thing I want to say is I always had this kind of saying, and that was kind of you can't have your cake and eat it too. So I've gone through a lot of stress in my life. At certain times I've just felt like, you know, like the world was crumbling on me, and I just didn't care, you know. But I got to a stage in my life where I said to myself, right, you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you really are that stressed out and life is really going that bad for you, then you can't be watching porn and say it's a relief, but then at the same time you're smoking cigarettes and you're saying that's a relief too, and then you're smoking marijuana and you're saying that's a relief too. So what did I say? I said smoking marijuana, cigarettes, porn, and then you're drinking vodka. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I tell you what, you can have 2 things out of those 4. And my whole life, the last 20 years, was trying to work out how do I alleviate 2 of those 4. You know, in the end, it ended up me watching porn. That was my last addiction, and smoking. That was my last 2 addictions. So I moved off of the spirits, and I moved off to the marijuana. The only 2 things was pornography and smoking tobacco. And I can tell you as I sit down here now that next month will be a full year of me not watching porn. In fact, it won't even be next month, it'll be in 3 weeks. So I'll be doing a video called No Fap, and I'll go into a lot more details about that. And what else is there? So I stopped watching porn. And the cigarettes, like I said, I stopped smoking cigarettes 2 years ago. But I did go through a really stressful period at the beginning of this year, and I said to myself, to hell with it, got out the vaping thing and started vaping again. But I never went back to smoking cigarettes. And now these things that you see in my hand now is me repeating that process. By the end of the 6th week, I'll be off of this again. And yeah, so for those who are really strong and don't need all of this advice, then, you know, that's good. Maybe you want to do a video yourself and share how you got around it and things like that. Don't be afraid, people, to use counsellors, therapists, dietitians, nutritional advisors, and whatever's out there. Don't be afraid to seek these things as well. And stay strong. And if you have any ideas that you wish to share with people, then by all means share it. Thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, continue fighting. God bless you. Peace.